What's deeper than an inspirational quote? The Phoenix Suns roster. And why the hell does my hair look like this? That and much more on the PHNX Suns show.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome in to the PHNX Suns Podcast. I'm Lindsay. That's Flex. That's Espo. Sorry we were a little bit late today. You can blame the Diamondbacks squad for taking a little bit longer around their trade deadline. We'll give them this one. We'll forgive them just this one time.
Actually, you can blame Eric Ruby for going on his honeymoon.
That too.
That's why we were late. Because poor Jacob Franklin is doing everything from a production standpoint.
But we do want to welcome you guys into the program. Thank you for being with us here, especially all of you early chatters in the chat right now. I see Lucas, Beanbags, Hops, Jay Woods, Zach, Ashley, Bees, Leo, and so many more of you. Michael, we appreciate you guys for being here with us and hopping in the chat early. Keep it coming. Let us know what you think throughout the show. So it's officially official. The Phoenix Suns have officially signed Tyus Jones. He is a member of the squad, and we are going to hear more from him this upcoming week because tomorrow he's going to be speaking with the media for the very first time. Poor Gerald, still out on his honeymoon as well. Gonna miss welcoming the newcomer to the Valley. I know he's got FOMO right now.
Who let these guys get married and go on honeymoons?
Seriously. Did they not realize we were gonna have good off seasons?
Did you approve that?
No, I didn't. And there was a delay to both of them, too.
I was.
Yeah.
I bet you they were both like, oh, yeah, nothing crazy will happen around this time. What would they even be doing?
Right.
They delayed it because of basketball season.
They literally delayed it because of basketball season.
And then basketball season hit them right in the face.
Yeah.
That's why I never leave, all right?
So make sure you come back tomorrow because we will have more from Tyus Jones and be able to share more insight on how that whole process went down and what he expects and thinks about the Phoenix Suns. But for today, we're going to talk a little bit about the differences from last season to this season, specifically the start of each one and who was on the roster and how things have kind of shaped up for the Suns throughout this offseason. So we'll start by looking at who is out and who is in because the Suns have made a lot of additions and a lot of subtractions. So subtractions first. No more Frank Vogel, no more Drew Eubanks, Eric Gordon, David Roddy, Jordan Goodwin, Keita Bates-Diop, and Yuto Watanabe. But on the additions side, just as many. You got Mike Budenholzer, Mason Plumlee, Monte Morris, Royce O'Neal, Tyus Jones, Damian Lee, Ryan Dunn, Oso Ighodaro. We're counting Damian Lee, even though technically he was on the squad. He didn't play at all, so that's why we're putting him on and Royce O'Neal didn't have a full season with the squad, and I think that'll make a big difference. But when you see all of these names put side by side, what is your initial thought about the way we started last season versus what will likely start this season?
If you look at these lists and you can legitimately say to me that you think this is a worse Suns team than last year, I can legitimately say that there's a padded room somewhere that you escaped from. Because there is no way you can look at that and say there's even a comparison to what they were last year in terms of the bench. This team is significantly deeper. For everybody that pounded the table that they needed a point guard, they got two of them for you. How does that sound? All right. You wanted, a more defensive group. We forgot Chimezi Med too.
Beautiful
jumper.
Sorry.
We forgot the beautiful jumper.
Oh,
That was me.
How the hell did I let that
I totally
happen?
forgot about
That's
that.
on me,
Also,
though.
everyone talking about Bol, like
he was on
both squads. We were talking about subtractions and additions, and I told you the reason why we included Damian Lee and Royce O'Neal in there. And we didn't put any of the two-way guys on there.
Let me
Yeah, we didn't
this.
add Devin Booker or KD.
But you can
either.
nitpick. That's okay.
My point doesn't change. My point doesn't change when you add Chemezi Metu to that.
Really?
List. It actually becomes more fortified.
No,
all
mine
right?
changes. I had Chemezi.
Oh, man.
This team, okay. They weren't deep enough last year was a big complaint. Check. The coaching was bad. Mike Budenholzer's here. Check. They had no point guard. They have it now. Check.
Two of them.
You needed defensive depth and a better big as your backups. Check. I mean, like, you look at this, and I don't know how anybody can see this and really think that this team isn't improved. And we talk about that's a 49-win team last year. And sure, the vibes sucked, but this team now is deeper. They fixed their issues, and they got a coach that I don't think is going to let the vibes suck. So
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah.
It really isn't even close, which is why I still have these conversations on social media, and I hear every now and then I hear somebody say, yeah, the same guys that got swept in the first round. And I'm like, it's not the same guys.
It's almost an entirely different squad.
It's an entirely different squad. Like, that happened. It's over. This is not the same Phoenix Suns. And no, I, honestly, being truthful in all seriousness, it's not even close. If there's one word to define, when I look at that, and I looked at those two lists, if I had to choose one word to define what separates the two, it's just, I would say this is a much more mature roster.
Yes. They're a little bit more proven in a sense too.
Good
like,
word.
okay, Jordan Goodwin, not a bad basketball player. Like, a lot of these guys on this team can be good in a certain situation, but they didn't work out in this specific situation. They didn't pan out in the way that you kind of hoped they would. Like, Jordan Goodwin, I bring up specifically because that was one that the front office had kind of pointed to. Like, they thought he could handle those backup point guard duties with this squad, and it was just a little bit too much for him. That's not to say he can't continue to grow and develop in that area and be a really solid backup point guard for another squad. It just didn't work out here with the Phoenix Suns. But you bring in a guy like Monte Morris, who is a little more proven in that area, to be able to handle that role within a team built like the Suns are built too. Then you got Tyus Jones, who's like obviously the starter, at least from everything we're hearing as of right now. Like, that's totally an upgrade there. And even the Mason Plumlee thing versus Drew Eubanks. I know a lot of people were really down on Drew Eubanks, but just the style of play fits a little bit better. And then when you start adding all the other pieces together, as far as like the connections and how a lot of these guys have played together in the past, like Tyus Jones and Grayson Allen have a connection. You know, the Monte Morris and Mason Plumlee have a connection. You're fast tracking, if you will, the team chemistry and unity because you already have pieces that have been there before. So it's not completely bare bones from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to use hindsight. They were able to look at the totality of it and do everything you guys said. Every hole and every flaw that team had last year, they've seemed to address it. Now, let's not act like everyone was excited last year. We were. You know, it's okay to be excited and then you get proven wrong. I'm not sitting here telling you that all these guys are going to hit and the world is going to be perfect and the Suns are going to win 72 games. I'm not saying that. Someone in the chat said, you know, I was high on you. I was high on you, Ben.
A lot of us were high on a lot of the guys on the squad last year. But here's the thing. That's part of fandom, is it not?
Yes.
Like, trying to find whether you believe it initially or you got to kind of learn to lean into it. Is that not one of the most fun parts of a new season? Is like trying to get excited about what the potential of your team could be?
Yeah.
And if it's not, I feel bad for you a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
it's no fun
you should
to that.
want to get excited before the season starts. I know you want to like maybe have a little bit of be a little reserved with it, especially based on last season. But like, damn, if you can't let yourself get excited about a new season, we're in trouble.
Last year was a lottery ticket that you bought. It was a lot of hope that these guys develop. Right. This year was you bought something that was a little bit more realistic in terms of investment. You know, a little something a little safer.
Blue chip
You know,
stocks.
a government bond. You know, something you know what the return is likely going to be and the history of performance, right?
Yeah.
In terms of it. So this is a much more proven, trusted group. Not as high of a ceiling, but I think they're a better overall group and more talented in terms of what you can count on. To me, and I think we're all old enough to get this reference, and if you're not watching, I apologize. And that Cam, the fat guy on the far left, my name's Espo. Nice to see you. So anyways, and I think you'll get this reference. The late 90s, there were a lot of those teen movies where, you know, she's all that, where there's this girl that, you know, is kind of the dorky girl, and they change her hair a little bit, they take the glasses off, they put on a new dress, and oh my God, she's the greatest thing ever. That's the Phoenix Suns. Last year they were kind of the dorky girl, the one that, you know, people kind of just pushed to the side by the time the playoffs came around. Well, guess what? They took the glasses off, they got a new look, they redid their hair, and they're ready for the dance. All right, that's what it is. This team didn't need a complete overhaul; they needed a makeover. Yeah. They got that makeover. They got the pieces that they were missing last year. The core remains the same, and I think you're going to see a much better result because it's not based on we need these guys to be something they haven't been yet and to reach their potential. We need these guys to be who they have been, and you know, they're guys in their prime in most cases that you got.
And on top of that too, shit, now I forgot exactly where I was going to go with this one.
All right, I'll jump in.
I don't know where I was going
up?
with this one. There was something good I had there, but I forgot it.
Here's what I want to ask you. You guys can answer yes or no on this question. If you had to bet right now that the Suns will be worse than they were last year or better than they were last year based on what you've seen them do this summer, better or worse? Better,
for sure.
Better. I mean, the one thing that you couldn't improve on, there's nothing you can do, is the injury concern, right? And that's left up to the basketball gods. But everything that you could fortify, you did. There's not much else you could have done, especially with the restrictions.
And I asked that question. I'm sorry. Did you remember?
Yeah, but it's okay. We're good.
I asked that question because people are acting like the Suns had the worst year. They won almost 50 games. They won 49 games. And I would say that was one of the most miserable seasons I've experienced
100%.
as someone that follows and covers his team. It would almost be hard for next year to be as bad as last year. Just
From
with the
feeling,
vibes, just the vibes and the injuries and the feel, right? So if they improve by 5 games, it's probably the best team in the West. It's 5 games. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So when you take into consideration the limitations they were up against too.
Yes.
What they were able to do this offseason. I'm struggling today, you guys. I think it's because we had the late start. I cannot talk.
We're good.
But when you consider all of the rules and obstacles they had to face this summer in completely trying to overhaul this team, they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Like 2 months ago, a month ago, no one in their right mind would have thought Tyus Jones would be on this squad. They would have loved to have Tyus Jones, but you didn't really think it was a realistic possibility to bring him in. I mean, even a guy like Monte Morris was an upgrade over what we had last season. And we also set ourselves up for some flexibility in the future too.
Yeah.
Like, sure, we didn't completely address every single issue we saw last season. We didn't get bigger. You could still ask for a taller, stronger power forward, so you could maybe move KD to the 3 a little bit more. Like, there are some things that you could absolutely still want on your wish list for this team, but they have flexibility now. I'm not advocating for this, but I'm just laying out what the picture is. You can move Grayson now and come the end of October and beyond if you really want to. Royce O'Neal becomes an asset that can be moved as well to make some deals. Does Josh Okogie not also become one?
Of course. That contract he signed was made for that.
Exactly. All of these, like, you have options now.
Nasir Little still.
You still have Nasir
Second
Little.
round picks you got too.
Second round picks.
If you feel like you're getting midway through the season and you're like, dang, we just really missed on this, and we could really, or this one thing would put us over the edge and make us unstoppable. There are options now that the Suns can tinker with a little bit.
Couldn't agree more.
I think they did
Home
the
run.
best of job that they could have done when you take into consideration the limitations they were up against.
Give me the
as
grade
well.
real quick.
I would give it an A.
Yeah, I'm going A+.
Yeah,
No
it's
doubt about
It's got to
it.
be
Like
in that
if you want to
range.
call it an A-, sure, that's fine, but it's got to be in the top range. A,
Ashley,
B for sure.
A+ off season after ties. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's,
He's the one that makes it A+.
yeah, because nobody thought you could actually pull that off. He was arguably the best point guard in the class that you are in the free agent market, and you wound up getting him for next to nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that you pulled off what was essentially a heist.
Yeah.
And you got two of the best, on the market, two of the top 8 guys that were out there from a point guard perspective. And that was the biggest thing everybody complained about last year was a lack of point guard. Like I said before, you got 2 now. You're okay there. Overall, if you're complaining about this offseason, you're just prone to complain. I mean, that's where you're at this point. And yeah, sure, are there still some flaws? Sure, there's a whole lot less than there was 2 months ago, and when they were trying to figure out what this offseason plan is. So you got younger in some areas, you got more depth, you got point guards.
We invested in our future with some youngins, and we have a G League squad where they can actually go and develop too.
Yeah.
Like, hello, I'm sorry, we're on the up and up. We may not be like
No.
the best in the world by all means. Don't get me wrong.
Listen, you had a Happy Meal budget and you got a Wagyu steak.
I mean, or at least a steak.
I mean,
it's at least a steak.
Yeah, I mean that's really what we had. We had nothing to work with.
Yeah.
Nothing. Happy Meal budget. And yeah, man, you got a big fat old steak. At the very least, you got steak. So there's no way to look at this offseason and not be thrilled.
No, you had a McDonald's budget and you robbed the goddamn steakhouse. You went in and you said, I'll take the
and
meat.
you didn't get caught either.
I'll take the meat and your money. Let's go. Like
That's my type of guy. Let's go.
Why settle on one steak? You got the whole steakhouse.
The whole damn thing. Yeah, I like it.
I mean, listen, I think when you really take a step back and you put the names next to each other, it paints a picture of just a lot of change that has happened over the last couple of months with this squad. And I think it also should paint the picture of why you can get a little bit excited. I'm not trying to tell you to run out there and scream the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the entire world.
The Phoenix Suns have the best offseason in the NBA. Suck it, Denver. Suck it, Lakers. Suck it, Eastern Conference.
Damn.
But what I am telling you is that it's okay to get a little bit excited, especially as the offseason continues and we get closer and closer to the start of the new season, because things are going to be a little bit different, or they should be a little bit different. And if they ended up shat in the bed, then so be it. We'll all be here to go through therapy together. But allow yourself to get a little bit excited about the possibility of what this team could be and the way in which they've put it together this offseason.
Wait, that's not an ad transition, or is it?
No.
No, I still thought that was a better help ad transition. We'll go to therapy together if it doesn't work.
No, I'm genuinely saying
all
we
right.
will be your therapy. Don't worry about it. Like Rick Van Larsdale said, I'm ready to be hurt again. That's the mindset. Allow yourself to get excited, and whenever we inevitably get hurt, we're all here together. We'll be through it together. It's fine. It's fine. That's what being a PHNX diehard is all about, right?
Yeah,
There's your ad transition.
There we go.
If you want to be even more ingrained with us here at PHNX, become a diehard. Not only does it get you access to exclusive content and merch, you also get a free item of your choice from our PHNX locker. You get discounts on events. You get access to the diehard Discord. Whole bunch of great ways for you to upgrade your fandom when you become a diehard. And that Discord, it's not just for Suns, it's for all the teams. So if you like the Cardinals or the Merc or whoever else, you still get access to all of that additional content as well. And speaking of the Merc, we are doing another takeover happening on August 26th at the Footprint Center when the Mercury will take on the Liberty. If you want to hang out with us and go grab what are we doing ahead of time? Did we figure that out yet?
I think it's the Desmond.
We're going to the
yeah.
Desmond again?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we had fully figured that one out. I didn't want to spill the beans.
Lindsay's just got that stall braid on
I
today.
do.
It's all right.
Really
It's all right.
Feels like a Friday, but it's
threw
only
Lindsay off her
Tuesday,
game.
so bear with me.
People have that. It happens.
I'm
It's
used to
good,
starting
man.
at 3, not 3:15. I'm already all off.
Routine matters,
Anyway,
right? Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Routine
yeah.
matters. Anyway, go PHNX.com. That's where you get all the information on the takeover and to become a diehard.
Do you want me to take care of the ads so you don't have to?
I mean, if
happy
you want
to.
to, you can.
Sanderson Ford Country. That's
You just
right.
really wanted to sing the song.
Our
huh?
friends at Sanderson Ford are in the fold. They're part of the PHNX family, and they are excited to be part of it and excited to help you get behind the wheel of the Ford you've always dreamed of. That's because it's the Ford Summer Sales event, and it's here, and they're teaming up with the Boys of Summer for a final playoff payoff sale. Get
Heyo.
excited. I want to get in one of those Mustang Mach-E's. I had one of our listeners follow up with me last night, a DM, and said, look, I heard you on the show today, and I got to tell you, I got my Ford Mustang Mach-E, and I love it. I was worried because it was all electric. He goes, the torque on this thing, unbelievable.
Yeah?
I had to look up what torque meant, but after finding out, hey, I'm all in.
Just a little
you know?
room, room.
Yeah,
right?
so
That's
yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So Sanderson Ford can hook you up. They're family owned and operated through 3 generations. They're like, I mean, that's like a full flex right there.
Exactly.
3 generations. And they thrive on a no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense sales pitch. So it's like your approach. It's like the opposite of this show. I mean, all those things are what we do. They don't do that when they're trying to sell you a car, all right? No BS when it comes to them. And they're pushing for the playoffs, and you get the payoffs, like deals on 24 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend. Have you seen these things? I love them. I really love them. Just ranked the highest in quality in its segment by J.D. Power and Associates. And you want 0% financing for 36 months? They got 0% financing for 36 months for you with no payments for 90 days on the Ford F-150, Escape, Edge, Explorer, and Expedition. A lot of ease in that as an Espo. I like that. The Sanderson Ford Summer Sales event is here, and they're teaming up with the Boys of Summer for a final playoff payoff sale. Like I told you, purchase or lease any new Ford and get 4 tickets for your family to see the D-backs push for the playoffs. It's a great deal. You won't want to miss it. Get 0% for 36 months OAC from Ford Credit. See dealer for details. And you know what? It's not a gamble when you work with Sanderson Ford when you're buying a car, but sometimes you want to bet on the future of your basketball team. And I am a man that's all in on this. The other day we were doing our emergency pod when they signed Tyus Jones. I said, you know what? I got to get in the Bet360, get my money
Put it
on
in.
that plus 3,000 on the Suns to win an NBA championship.
Am I the only one that is surprised that it hasn't moved with
No,
Tyus
I'm
Jones
shocked.
being like? Honestly, I'm shocked.
I'm
If
shocked.
you really want to put some money on the squad, do it before everything starts actually moving.
So I'm sure I'm not going to go there. I put a band of Flex's money on it. I transferred. He doesn't know.
Don't tell
it's
him.
all right.
Keep
But,
it a secret.
you want to do it Bet365, though. They take care of you like no other. 90 million users worldwide. If you can't trust 90 million or your closest
lot.
friends, what can you trust, right? And they have the early payout offers across MLB, NHL, NFL, and the NBA. It is fantastic. In the NBA, your team goes up 20 points. If you bet on them for the money line or as part of your parlay to win, you're going to get that automatically. Doesn't matter if they lose the game. If they go up by 20 or more, you're going to get it. So right now, if you sign up at Bet365, they don't do ordinary, and they believe every sport should be epic. And right now, if you sign up using that promo code PHNX365 and deposit $10, you're going to get to choose between a bet and get offer where you place a bet of $5 or more, and you're getting $150 in bonus bets. We call that the Espo. That's where I went.
That's what I picked.
But you know, or we could call it the Lindsay too. But if you are deep pocketed like Flex and don't care if you're going to lose a band, we've got another one. The first bet safety net offer by placing a bet up to $1,000 on a qualifying bet. If you lose, you're going to receive a match refund and bonus
That's
bets,
interesting.
just like that. So you can do that. No problems. That right there. Download. I'm getting a Lindsay vibe right now.
Yo!
Stop looking at me, Lindsay. I'm getting.
I'm not.
Yeah, download the Bet365 app and use the code PHNX365. When you sign up, choose your offer and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and over, physically located in Arizona. If someone if you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Text Next Step to 53342 or visit problemgambling.az.gov.
Whew. Thanks, Espo.
Hello, we do that in the Hamptons. Hello, not Jersey. East Hamptons.
So we have a lot of new faces on this squad. We just talked about all of the additions from this offseason. So let's do a little rank and file, right? There are some questions still. We know there are some absolutes, but there's some guys towards the end of the bench who may or may not make it into the rotation on a consistent basis. So let's rank and file, and we'll do a little rotation action here. So we've got the number one category for sure. Obviously, we know who these are going to be.
So can we start with the starters?
Can we just get the big dogs in there?
Yeah,
can we
totally.
get Kevin, Wayne, Durant for sure, Devin, Armani? But we going Bradley. Okay,
Beal.
Devin, Armani.
Bull.
You want to go with Nurk?
Go
with
we know Nurk.
Nurk's gonna be in there. He's a starter.
Let's
Let's go with Tyus, baby. Let's go
Gotta
with
put
Tyus.
Tyus, right?
Look, there you look at Tyus, baby. Look at that starting five.
Look at that. I told you the stat that for the last 9 years, I believe it is, every NBA champion has had a former Wizard. You got 2 former Wizards in your starting lineup now,
like that.
and a boy who grew up in friggin' DC. So now you got all the connections.
Question on that real quick. I just need a smidge of clarity. Is it a former Wizard in general or last season's Wizard?
I believe in general.
Okay.
In general.
But last year it was one that had just been with the Wizards and Porzingis. So.
All right.
Hey Jacob, my OCD's kicking in, man. If I ask you to move some guys up top around, would that be too much?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well,
Can
honestly,
we put Tyus
we do
first?
need to do that.
Can we put Tyus first, then Book, then Beal?
You want it in the order
in
of
the
the
lineup order, yeah,
See,
like
so
like
no,
like
I
that.
was
That's
thinking-
no, that don't make sense.
No, this is fine for here, but like bubble and outside looking in, I think we need to rank it in order of where they sit.
I thought you were going to
100%.
choose chaos and make us do the is Devin or Kevin better?
I would never. Come on.
I agree with you. No, we need to rank them in actual like who's the for sure 6th guy,
Yes.
7th guy, 8th
So
guy. Yes.
I think 6, in my opinion, now they've got Tyus, it's got to be Grayson,
Yeah, of course.
Plumlee.
No, I'm with.
Roy-
No, I'm
Royce?
with.
I think it's
Grayson.
Royce.
I'm leaning
I feel
Grayson.
like it's Grayson.
I'm
Okay.
leaning Grayson,
Okay.
but Royce is.
Okay.
We're
I only-
splitting hairs.
I
if
only
it's
think
6
it
or
would
7.
be Royce. You may want some defense earlier, but I get it. They're basically both 6th.
I would say,
think Grayson will be
yeah.
viewed as the 6th man. That's
Yeah.
fair.
I think we give the nod to Grayson simply because he started majority of the games. No, I think he still
He's
goes
in
in the
for
for
sure.
sure.
But then Royce
He
right
goes
after.
right after
Yeah,
Nurk.
And I mean that's splitting
Yeah.
hair. Yeah,
And
that's
then I
splitting
think we could do
hairs.
Royce. I'm okay with Royce
Yeah,
right
Royce.
after.
Yeah.
Now the question
is where it gets good.
Plumlee, Monte?
I would say
Monte Morris, Mason Plumlee?
well,
where are we feeling?
All right, so I would
or someone
say,
else.
No, I think you're right on it. I would say it has to be Plumlee
Yeah.
because you don't have somebody's going to back up Nurk. You have to.
Nurk's
Right.
foul trouble.
So
those
yeah,
issues,
so it's gotta to me it's gotta be Plumlee just based off of necessity because you're gonna have somebody fill in for Nurk. So he automatically plays.
Okay.
Now how many we have up there? Where we at already?
Yeah,
that's already at 8.
That's 5, 6, 7, 8.
And so
That's insane that
that's
you're
crazy.
You're 8 deep there, and you haven't even gotten to Monte Morris.
That's
I
right.
know. So do we move Monte to the top of the bubble? Is that rude?
Monte's going to be
I feel
in
like
that
it's kinda
rotation.
rude.
It is.
right?
No, I think Monty plays.
He's
Monty's
got to be
Monty's
at the
playing.
end of the for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we
But then-
got to make us smaller to fit everybody in here. This is wild.
Oh, look at
This is the
Jacob.
first
Yeah,
time we've had
Jacob
this
is
many
having.
people
Yeah,
in the top
Jacob.
of
We're
our rank
making
and file
Jacob. We're making
categories.
Jacob work right now, and I'm impressed the way he's handling this because I didn't realize this was going to get that deep.
Okay. All right. So
Can you just outline? Because I was not listening to a
So
word
far,
you said.
we've got Tyus Jones, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Yusuf Nurkic. Then we've got Grayson Allen in that 6th spot. We've got Royce O'Neal in the 7th. And then we're going to roll with Mason Plumlee, 8th.
And Monte Morris.
And then
then
Monte
Monte
Morris, 9th.
This team's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, that's not too
This
shabby.
team is pretty good, and there's some guys on the bubble that are on the bubble because the numbers just don't work out, but they
So-
really good basketball
Do we
players.
just put the rest of them in outside looking in at that point?
I
You've
mean,
already got
listen.
All right, so
But I think that's it for sure.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
I think we're in a
100%.
good spot
100%.
for sure. We need to move down to some more bubble. But this is where it gets a little bit more
Yeah, no, this is
tricky.
And we're going to rank them in order too?
Yeah.
Bubble order? Okay. So
does your affinity for these guys come into play here? Because it will for me. That's always a given.
Bull's next.
Okay.
Bull,
That's where
I
you
think he's
going?
got to be number one on the bubble.
I'm okay with that. Actually, I support that a
Experience
lot.
and coming back, yes. I'm going Bobo.
Yeah.
And just the raw potential that you look at it, he's going to get a look at least early on to determine if he deserves to be part of the rotation.
Couldn't agree more.
So
Okay.
I think he's got to be number one on the bubble.
I agree. Number one on the bubble is Bobo. I think if we're going down that lane, I also want to throw Okogie right after him because I think Okogie
Really?
does enough.
I think
think-
Damian Lee is before Okogie.
This
man.
one's tough.
No, it is tough. I'm just, again, I'm looking at the top and I'm saying there's a
you
lot of
You
offense.
don't think they might just
You just gave Okogie
try a
$8
Ryan
million.
Dunn?
No, yes. Well, we got to get there though.
No, ahead of Okogie. You don't think they might try it?
Yeah. Yeah. No. I
just, oh.
Like I love Josh Okogie as much as the next guy. You know this.
yeah.
But if Ryan Dunn at all can show you a glimmer or a glimpse of potential shooting, you know what you're getting from Josh for the most part. Let's be honest.
I will tell you this, Linz.
I don't know. I'm just
No,
curious if
you're
they
on the
try
money.
it.
You're on the money. You're what you're saying is correct, and I think it's for my money, it will be matchup based. If you need a defender to deal with backcourt help, it would be Okogie. If you need a defender to deal with some more front court stuff, small forward type thing, it would be done. I think this is going to be your all season back and forth.
Okay, but if your top, what is that? Your top 10 is all offense? I mean,
maybe you do need a Josh Okogie in there.
I don't know.
I think one of them. You just gave Josh $8 million and he's familiar, but you just drafted Ryan Dunn in the first round. So one of those guys is next, in my opinion. I think one of them is next. I'm okay saying Ryan Dunn. I think Ryan. I just argued the other day that before we got Tyus, I thought Ryan would have a chance to crack the lineup eventually.
Eventually, but this is kind of towards the start of the season, right? Is that sort of where we are with this rank and file?
Ryan Dunn's
So,
a first round pick. I think he plays. So I think 10 is about right.
I kind of feel like you got to give Josh Okogie the. No,
I think you go Ryan Dunn early to try to figure out
That's fair.
if he
That's
has
fair.
something.
See what you got.
Honestly, this isn't going to be popular. You might smack me.
I know where you're going.
I think by the end of the year, you may see Oso Ighodaro getting more minutes than Ryan Dunn.
I think.
I don't want to
no,
smack
I
you.
don't
I
think
don't
you're
think that's
outside of-
crazy.
I think a lot of people.
I think
I think he may wind up moving ahead of Bull on the bubble part here at some point.
I tell you what. You know what? Can we clear things up?
Yeah.
A confidence level. I would be completely okay with putting Oso next. I'm more confident that Oso is going to have a role than anybody else.
But I agree.
But
you're going to look defense.
Yes.
And so Ryan Dunn's probably going to get the look.
We're all
first.
split.
You like
Even the
Ryan
chat
Dunn?
is completely split. You got Haydon and Ashley going for Dunn, Honcho not for Jo. Charles says Jo over the rookie. Like,
it's
this
tough.
is a tough one.
So where are we leaning towards? I'm
Damon
okay
says
going with
smack
Ryan Dunn.
Espo. Ryan says Espo's a freak. I mean, that one's not.
I'm
bad.
okay going Ryan Dunn, Linz. Do you think Dunn? Espo, what do you think?
I think to
I
begin
feel
the year,
like they're
yes.
going to want to experiment and see exactly
Jacob,
what they've
slide
got
Ryan
going
Dunn
on.
up there.
I
First
do
round
think
pick Ryan Dunn. Let's go.
we might eat our words with this one, but I do think they'll at least experiment, right?
Yeah.
I
no.
agree.
Okay, so
Early
who's
on,
next? Do you
I think it's Oso or Okogie.
you don't think Damian Lee's going to get a shot here?
We both did the same side.
I think
I wonder
before
because I feel like
Saturday,
they're
yes.
going to want
Before
to.
Saturday, yes. After Saturday, now it's gotten tougher for Damian. With Tyus here and Monty,
Yeah.
it's gotten a lot tougher for Damian. So I feel like he's the guy that's going to be affected most by Tyus making this decision to come. But I love Damian Lee. So He's gonna be in the bubble. He ain't an outside looking out type guy. Outside looking in type.
Do we want to skip
You wanna-
and put some
yeah.
outside
Yeah,
looking
let's do
ins
that.
and
Yeah,
come
let's
back?
do that. Yeah, let's do
So
that.
I think-
Those are easier.
Yeah,
do that.
so obviously we can put the two-way guys that
Yeah.
we have. We've got Jalen Bridges and Colin Gillespie.
Let's do that. Yeah.
They can head up into the outside
Yeah.
looking in.
They'll
Yeah.
be in Tempe playing a lot.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Technically, we
EJ
have EJ
Liddell.
Liddell on the
Yeah.
squad right now because he has not been cut from the Sun squad because they can carry more guys in the offseason than when the regular
You
season
can
actually
put him
begins.
far at the end of that outside look.
He'll be
Yeah,
at
you
the
could-
back.
So outside, he's on somebody else's roster by the time the season starts.
Okay, so that took 3 people off our list. I don't think that made it a lot easier. Nasir Little, I kind of feel like maybe you plop him.
Can we put Nas?
One step above each.
No.
No.
Can we
I
put
feel like
Nas
they
at the
try
front of the outside?
I
The
do
very
think
first
Bud
guy.
gives
Yes.
him another shot to see if he
Yes.
can utilize him in a different way.
I think he's on
you
the
put-
outside
yeah.
looking in, but he's
But
the
the
very
beginning.
first guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to give him a little bit there.
Okay.
So now we're back to. Okay, that didn't help a whole lot.
I think Josh
Listen, I
Okogie's
think
outside
Josh is
looking
next.
That was just
No.
called procrastination, Lindsay.
But I did. But
I-
hey, I procrastinated by having us do another exercise.
Hey,
so we
Chad,
still
tell
made
me what
some-
you think. This is what I think with the remaining 3. And I'm just gonna throw out there. We can all do this. With the 3 right there, I'm going Okogie, Oso, Damon in the bubble, like
Yeah.
in that order.
Okay.
I'm putting Okogie at the beginning of the outside looking in.
Are you
Do
really?
you really
Yeah.
think so?
They didn't sign him to that $8 million contract because they valued necessarily what he brought.
Well, you got to
the
play.
court.
You got to play him to flip him, though.
Do you?
A little
No,
bit.
you do
No,
a little
you're-
bit.
you're
You might
playing-
have to.
You're playing him for. You signed him to that 1 year deal for salary matching, not because some other team is going to fall in love with him.
That's true. But
All right?
if he comes out and helps, does that change the thing? That may make
Maybe
that
I
may
just-
give you a little bit more leverage.
That dude in the chat said it's already in order. Stop overrating D. Lee. Ow.
Oh man.
Damian Lee is a sweet baby angel.
And D Lee can shoot, man.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I know
Like,
this is the hard part.
D Lee might be the best 3-point shooter of the whole damn everything on the screen. He could compete with Grayson.
Did
This
you
is-
keep drinking after we left Vegas?
What?
Like,
This is
No,
a
no, I'm talking about
wonderful-
percentage.
Oh,
3-point
I thought you
percentage.
meant like
No,
the
no, no.
best shooter.
No, I'm
out of
saying,
the whole
guys, don't
group.
trip out. Don't clip that. Don't be crazy. I'm talking about 3-point percentage. You know, Grayson and Damon are the top 2 on that page. Those guys shoot the heck out the ball. High, mid 40s. What did
Yeah.
Damon shoot? 42.
He led the league at or was
42.
second by the time All-Star break
Yeah,
rolled
so
around.
he can
so-
shoot the ball.
Okay, what are we
thinking,
doing?
Lance? What are you thinking?
I
Lance?
don't know.
What
but
are you doing?
all I know is this is a great problem to have.
Yes.
And granted, we're splitting hairs here because what are we now? This is like 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I do like that.
Oh,
Connor
13,
says
14,
D.
14,
Lee
13,
hasn't played in
14,
a year.
15,
13,
something like
14,
that.
D. Lee hasn't played in a year.
Yeah,
Connor says
D. Lee
it.
hasn't played in an entire year. He also said during summer league, he's what, 80%, 85%
He's
there?
got to be at the end.
So he's pretty close. So I think for that reason alone, let's put D. Lee at the end. And so now it's Josh Okogie and Oso. I still think that, yes, they will want to experiment with Oso, but I could imagine them turning to Josh Okogie before Oso.
It depends. I mean, with the way that Nurk gets in foul trouble sometimes,
Yeah.
and let's be honest, Mason Plumlee ain't giving you a full game. Like he's not a 35-minute a game kind of guy. Oso may get some look early on based on that, but if we're looking straight, yeah, it's probably D Lee, or it's probably I'll give you Okogie, Oso, D Lee. in
I
that
vote
order.
Okogie, Oso, D. Lee.
That's what I vote.
I think that's reality, but
And it's not shade to D. Lee. I think a lot of it is you got to actually, honestly, like even behind the scenes and in camp and practices and everything, one, we have to make sure you're actually healthy. And two,
Mhm.
when you come back from injury, it can also take some time for you to
Yeah.
really find your rhythm again. Like missing an entire year is not nothing.
No joke.
I think Jo winds up in the outside looking in.
Let's have a conversation about the bubble, guys. Now that this lined up now, so look at the top, and Monty is number 9.
Mm-hmm.
So typically during the regular season, playoffs you shrink it, but during the regular season you pretty much want to have about a 10-man roster,
10, maybe 11,
10-man rotation,
depending on
maybe 11
matchups.
depending on the matchup. So right now we got those 9 guys that we know are playing. It looks like we're going to lean towards Bobo, rightfully so. He made enough improvement last year, and he was in the rotation last year towards the end. So
Also,
Bobo
I think
got
we
that
all
spot.
can agree that we want to see some more Bobo.
Yeah, to start for sure.
Yeah.
For
Right.
the beginning of the year.
So now here's what this shows me, which I like. I'm looking at this. I'm saying, I already like what I'm seeing. It shows me that these 9 guys at the top are for sure. And it shows me that I'm going to have 5 guys playing balls to the wall in camp.
And
All 5
practice,
of those
yeah.
guys are coming into camp and saying, any one of us, it's maybe 2 out of 5 are going to play.
Yeah.
The competition level that you're going to see in camp, in the preseason, behind closed doors, at the 5G Center, that's the type of shit that gets you over the top. That's the type of stuff that, because you can't take a day off. Bobo can't come in and say, man, I had a couple good practices. I'm good. Because then Ryan Dunn might come in and start clamping people, and it's like, oh, shit, Ryan's on your tail. Oh, watch out. Here come Oso. Oh, J.O. ready to play. And Damon Lee shooting the hell out the ball. So you could have some problems. And that's good problems.
J.O.'s moving to the back of that list by
You think so?
December.
By
Yeah.
December?
Wow.
By December, J.O.'s out of the rotation.
Really?
I mean-
But I look at
There's a possibility.
look at the top 9, though. There's
Yeah.
always some guy that you expect to be a rotation guy
That ends up falling out.
disappoints.
True.
Mhm.
Who's the leading candidate in that group?
See that? The way
That's
you
what I
just
wanna
set
know.
that
That is
up
fun.
is so awful, though.
No,
'cause
we're
now I
not
feel like I'm
doing-
throwing shade
Yeah.
at that.
I just inevitably, if they hit on all 9 of those rotation
They're
guys,
winning the NBA championship.
that's insanity.
No, they win the NBA championship. If those 9 guys hit, I'm telling you, there'll be a NBA Finals game in downtown Phoenix.
This is less about the guy who would fall out and more about the rookie. I think there could be a scenario by the end of the season, Oso and Plumlee have more competition for that backup spot.
I can see it.
So
I can see it.
again, it's less about Plumlee and more about if Oso can figure it out quickly.
Okay, I see it.
And I think a lot of people are pretty high around the league on Oso and what his potential could be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just banking on him. And we saw him putting in the work. He looks like he's already starting to put on a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that photo of him and video
Granted,
him
he was flexing,
working.
of course,
Yeah, but
still.
a lot of us can flex like that.
on them.
And
Flex on them.
Yeah.
I thought it was fake when I first saw it because all the veins and everything. I'm like, who used AI to make Oso look buffer? And then I was like, oh shit, that's actually him working out. All right. Like,
Here's another thing. Those 9, right? Those 9 guys up there. Maybe I don't.
there a
I
world-
was gonna say. I really don't want to go. Just know that those 9 guys are all not playing 82 games this
No.
year. There's gonna
No,
be
of
some.
course not.
You know,
There's gonna be some injuries. There's gonna be some tweaks. There's gonna be some sore.
I also
ankles
feel a little
and-
bad saying this, but
I don't want to say any names. Though.
there is a scenario where you could not utilize both of your new point guards because you may not need both as often,
yeah, I mean,
right?
depending on the matchup.
or at least the amount of minutes that both of them see could shrink.
yeah, I kind of feel bad for Monte.
I do
Morris.
too a little bit.
Hold on. Since you said that, can we try something real quick?
Sure.
I'm sorry. No. This is intriguing. So let's just go position by position and not by rank or player style. But okay, Tyus is our point guard. Who is Tyus's backup? Natural backup.
Monte Morris.
Monte
yeah,
Morris. That's fair.
but I don't think it's going to end up being exactly that.
No. But I'm saying let's
what I'm saying.
experiment with that just to see what it looks like. So Monty is the backup. The book right now we have Book slotted at the 2. Who's the natural 2
Grayson
to take?
Allen.
Grayson Allen. Okay. Right now we got Beal at the 3. Who's the natural
Royce.
guy? Huh?
Royce.
Royce.
Mhm.
Okay. KD's at the 4. Who's the natural? Bull. So I mean, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, that's pretty much the exercise. If I'm the coach, I don't make these decisions based on how I feel about a guy or his overall talent. I make the decision based on the role that I need. And if my point guard comes out and Monty is my backup point guard, doesn't matter if he's 9th on the pecking order. He might be the first sub in if I'm taking Tyson out. I mean, not Tyus.
If that's the way your system's set up, then yeah, because you're not gonna. I mean, you could slide Book into that if you had to, or you could slide Beal, but you've doubled down on point guards now. So
yeah, but I don't think they've necessarily doubled down on point guards because they truly felt like we need a true point guard in the starting unit and then in the second unit, and it always
I
has to
agree.
run through those
That's
two.
true.
I think there was definitely a factor that they do want a point guard on this team to help manage things at certain points in time. But I still think they're going to try and run through Book at times.
Of course
Run
they
through.
are.
Yeah, it's
Of
going
course
to be
they
a
are.
constant rotation
Of
of
course
guys
they
who
are.
they'll continue to
Yeah.
run through. I don't think it's going to always be Tyus is your 1 and then Monte is your 1B.
But I
That's
think I
agree.
think there's a world where they are playing and Book still can bring the ball up because those guys both can shoot at an immensely high
Yeah,
clip from
they don't-
deep as well.
40%, both of them.
So I
Yeah.
think it gives you some wrinkles in it. And I think you're right. I don't think they came into the offseason saying we have to get 2 point guards and one of them needs to be a starter, right?
Mhm.
I think the market dictated
Yeah.
this.
I
and
think
they
that was
looked at-
part of it.
Yeah, and they looked at it and they went, well, if I can add Tyus Jones, because
We're not gonna
what
say
did-
no.
What did James Jones say? Point guard, point guard, point guard. Okay, everyone gives a point guard. Tell us who it is. Well, he had 2 of them. One they
He
aggressively
knew this
went
whole
after.
time.
Tyus fell in. Let's be honest. Tyus somewhat fell into their lap.
Yes.
They knew somebody would be there, like we talked about yesterday, that would get priced out of the market. But Tyus kind of fell into their lap. So now I think they're like, okay, do we
Monte
run the
Morris was
offense
the
that way?
original, like, this is our guy. And then when Tyus became available and wanted to come play with you, it was like, we're not saying no to that.
That's right.
Especially on a vet min. We would be shooting ourselves in the foot if we said no to this player that fell into our lap, essentially.
Yeah, and that's why sometimes the things that don't happen are the best things for you. Things that don't happen. Because there was a time where that other spot could have belonged to Kyle Lowry,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Or some
A lot of
people wanted
things.
to be
And
Russ Westbrook.
It could have.
you know?
It could have.
Yeah.
They were in on Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle decided I wanted to have Philly cheesesteaks in South Philly instead of chilling in Scottsdale. Right? That's a terrible
I
decision,
want to go to
Kyle.
PHLY.
Kyle, I've been out there, dog. I just started came to Scottsdale, homie.
Hold
But-
on.
Oh, what?
Hold
Well,
on.
I've been to South
Hold
Philly,
on.
but come on,
I've been
man.
to Philly and
Hold-
I've been to Scottsdale, and Scottsdale's
Hold
overrated.
on.
I'm sorry.
Kyle and I share
Yeah.
a body type, and as that body type, I would much rather
Yeah, the
have a Philly
cheesesteak is
cheesesteak.
the cheesesteak's calling.
Cheesesteak is legit, but it gets cold out in Philly, baby.
All
The
right.
snow. I'm sorry.
It gets hot
I'm
here,
gonna shut up.
but-
I'm gonna shut up. But listen, real quick, if Kyle would have came, now Tyus is not. So Kyle going
It
back
did
to
work
Philly,
out well
it worked
for
out
us.
for us.
Yes.
Luck.
Yeah, we had a little bit of luck on our side this offseason for sure, but a lot of people behind the scenes who are making decisions had contingency plans for things like this.
For
to
Blessing
show
in
up.
the sky, Ashley.
Yes,
That's right.
Absolutely. You know what else is a blessing on a hot summer day?
Me?
Circle K Polar Pops
okay.
and Frosters. They're absolutely delightful. Nothing is better on a 112 August day. I know it's July still, but we're about to be in
112
August.
today?
I don't
No,
know, but it
today's
feels like
nice.
it's always 112 degrees. Polar Pops are
109.
elite, and they're the best way to cool down in the summertime. And Circle K right now is offering them for just 79 cents now through September 3rd at any Arizona location. But told you guys this before, when you sign up for their free new membership program and become a part of their inner circle, you get them for just 69 cents.
Nice.
And in addition to that, when you sign up, you also save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. You save 3 cents per gallon every single day. And there are always exclusive offers in the Circle K app, whether that's like buy 6, get 1 free, things like that, or just like a 2-for type of deal. Always have some good coupons and discounts in the Circle K app. So if you have not already, join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
Big weekend for my guy Ryan Reynolds.
Is it?
Deadpool and Wolverine open, highest grossing rated R movie in its first weekend ever. 8th highest opening ever in movie history.
I mean, that's impressive.
It is.
But still not the best thing that Ryan Reynolds has done.
Agreed.
Wasn't actually even a movie. Mint Mobile, that
Ooh.
Ryan Reynolds was involved with early on, is spectacular. None of the other crap that the fill in the blank wireless company puts you through. Mint Mobile takes care of you. They will get you in for 3 months, $15 a month. You're going to get quality 5G cell service on a phone that you bring or you can buy with them. You can bring your number, all your contacts. You're going to get it for $15 a month.
Hey-o.
I mean, that is just spectacular, right? And they take care of you throughout it. They have all plans that come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text. Talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone, like I said, with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all the contacts. You can find out how easy it is to switch to Mint Mobile and get 3 months of premium wireless service for just $15. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/suns. That's mintmobile.com/suns. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/suns. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slow above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See mintmobile.com for details.
Let's go.
All right. We've got quite a few super chats here to dive into, or a couple. Michael Ramirez, thank you. We appreciate you always sending us super chats, and great ones at that. They said, Tyus Jones checks so many of our quote-unquote needs boxes. Turnovers, check. Facilitator, check. Fourth quarter cohesion, check. Big three bucket getters, check. 41% from three, check. Bench depth, check. # better team. Tyus Jones really puts you over the edge when you are evaluating the offseason that the Suns had, 100%. Brian also sent us one. Thank you, Brian. And they said, ask the real question. Do we have a sweet baby angel?
Yes. Talk to me, Lynn.
The people's sweet baby angel is Grayson Allen.
Okay.
I think my sweet baby angel is going to be Oso.
Yep.
I think Oso is definitely going to be a sweet baby angel contender this season.
I could dig it.
100%. I just don't see how you could talk to that kid one time or hear him talk one time and not.
He's already high.
I was impressed in Summer League. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But we'll revisit this. Honestly, we were thinking about, just a heads up, which I'll say I completely forgot about this, but we should do it. I think we're gonna make a sweet baby angel criteria and point valuation for it as well.
You're gonna count how many high fives a guy gives during a game?
No, but we're gonna actually put it to where you can sort of attach a number to it. Right? Okay. There's a way where you can truly grade them, so it's not just this is just Lindsay's thing, and Lindsay voted this.
We're just
I think we're all going to agree on it.
Yeah,
we'll see. I don't know.
I think we're going to send you to media day, and you're going to have to ask teammates who they think.
Honestly, that's not a terrible idea. Psycho Blue sent us one. Thank you, Psycho Blue. They said, I watched KD and Nurk both play 60-plus games for the first time since before the pandemic. Feeling good about a certain someone finally beating the injury-prone allegations, too. I would love nothing more than for that to happen.
We do hope Flex beats that rap this year.
We do. Absolutely. All right. And then we did have another plan for the final segment, but we could always push that to later in the week. Would you prefer to do what Michael asked us to do here and break it down by minutes? Each position gets 48 minutes. Who gets what?
That's a lot of math. I think we should add that to another day. Where
we could do
it
another
that one another day?
Yeah, Michael, that's a lot of math.
Can you screenshot Michael's super chat and send that to us, Jacob? And we will revisit that later on in the week. So then we'll go back to the original plan. Different lineups that we'd like to see. We don't have to dive too deep into these, but just what are some lineups that are intriguing to you at this moment?
Bol, Oso Ighodaro, Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Devin Booker.
How many fucking people you putting in this lineup?
That's
five. I
thought it sounded like six.
I can count.
You tripping.
Am I tripping?
I can count.
Say it again.
I mean, it was a pregnant pause, so is that the sixth there?
Maybe, yeah.
Oso Ighodaro, Bol, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Grayson Allen.
Okay, all right.
I mean, that would be intriguing.
I know why I heard
six,
though. I'm about to say
it's because Bol has double names.
That's it, maybe.
Well, look, Bol can shoot the three, Kevin can shoot the three, Oso can facilitate, Book can shoot the three, Grayson can. And then on defense, you just have the two guards at the top, and you have the three bigs just hold arms, and they go from one end of the court to the other, one side of the court to the other. Done.
No,
let's go.
I mean, no pun intended. We're done, right? Ryan done.
He wasn't in the lineup.
He
Jeez.
wasn't in the lineup.
No, I know that.
I know,
But I'm saying, you know,
I'm saying
is
and
that-
done.
I think we can all agree.
I would throw him in there.
We'd love to
That'd
see
be
all the
6.
shooters, right?
Yes.
A little, I mean, it would be super small, but you got Katie, and then you'd roll with a Grayson Allen, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Tyus Jones.
Damian Lee, Tyus Jones,
Tyus
Monte
Jones.
Morris.
I feel like Tyus probably in that over Damian Lee maybe a little bit.
Probably, yeah.
That's my murder line.
Like that is an intriguing one.
That's
sure.
That's definitely my favorite. I
don't
think I
know.
mentioned it yesterday on the show. Like I would love. That's the lineup I would be intrigued with. I would definitely call it the murder lineup because they will be out there murdering basketball teams offensively. When you think about KD at center, Book, Beal, Grayson, and Ty. Oh man. Yeah, Linz, I don't know how you defend that.
I mean, it's
really don't.
fascinating,
It's
that's for
small.
sure.
They'll be
They're
small
super small.
defense, but the other side got to figure out a way to stop them, Espo.
What
So
about
that one-
also KD and 3 shooters? I mean, mix and match whatever you want, but because you were showing me a clip of Tyus Jones yesterday with the Wizards, and his pick and roll at the top, he had 2 guys in the corner, and those 2 guys down there don't know what to do because they can't leave the 2 3-point shooters, but they want to collapse and they can't because of the pick and roll. Imagine Oso in that situation with his passing ability. KD and Book or Grayson and Book in the corners. Like there's so many possibilities that I'm fascinated with what Mike Budenholzer is going to do with these lineups and try to let other teams pick their poison, right?
Yeah. And what if you want to get really frisky on defense? Like, what if you really want to just be like, you know what? It's clamp time. Like, we going to go out here and we going to put Josh, we going to let Josh play point of attack on at the 1. We going to throw Ryan Dunn at the 2 spot, right? KD will be your 3, who we know we can play D. He'll be the guy controlling the offense. Bobo at the 4. Oso at the 5. Like,
is that okay? If you want to go defense, though, don't you go maybe Book at the 1, Okogie at the 2, or vice versa?
Push Ryan down to 3.
Ryan Dunn 3, KD 4.
Yeah.
and
Sure.
then,
Sure.
and try to figure out where you're going 5.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I love
I
Oso.
just, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just don't know that him as my back half rim protector.
I'm gonna
how
tell
I
you what
feel.
I like about Oso. This is why I'm intrigued, and I said this on a defensive tip. People are gonna be really surprised at how good Oso is defensively between the ears. On tape, he is fucking phenomenal at diagnosing what an offense is going to do before they do. So what he lacks in athletic ability and pure gift, he makes up for that by just being in the right spot, right? So, like, I could see him being a quarterback on defense. Like, Oso's like, yo, you go there, you watch this. I got back, I got this, right? And that's very intriguing. And then I still think that the best 2 defenders, pound for pound on this team, are Josh Okogie and Ryan Dunn.
Yeah.
So I'm fascinated with them 2 guys just hounding the hell out of a backcourt. You're saying, here you go, for 5 minutes, you got to deal with these 2 demons.
Okay.
So Hops
Talk to
says,
me.
"Oh my God, watching Oso highlights from high school, and he dominated my senior team back in 2020. He blocked all the shots out there. So
There you
So
go.
he has firsthand knowledge. Now I'm guessing he probably went to Corona or one of the other schools in that district, and they had a bunch of 5'8" guys on the roster too. But I think you're right.
He can play
probably
D.
Can play D. Sean says Katie's not a big, have to treat him like a guard. He plays like a guard, and says he's not a power forward defender. I don't know. He defended pretty damn well last year, wherever you
not too
threw him.
shabby. We have a couple suggestions from the chat. This one's funny. Buddha the Schizo said, I want to see everyone at the outside looking in our rank and file because that would mean it's a wrap. Easy
That's
Money Sniper Nephew said Book, Tyus, Jones, Ryan Dunn, KD, and Bol.
Damn. I ain't
Yeah.
mad at that neither.
Yeah.
That's a fun lineup
Enslow
too.
said Tyus, Beal, Booker, Bol, and KD.
Okay.
I like
And then King Nacho said Tyus, Book, KD, Bol, and Plumlee.
that. That's a
Look
nice
who's
one.
not in there. Who would have guessed? Beal not in that lineup for Nacho.
Yeah, no surprise there.
Nacho.
But Nacho does. We know Nacho is not a big fan of Bradley Beal, but throughout a bench lineup, Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, Bol, and Plumlee. I mean, even bench lineups could be kind of fascinating to kind of tinker with there as well, right?
Dunk person.
So we got quite a few of them. And that, again, I think the whole purpose of this exercise, all three of them, when you put everything on paper and kind of look at it with names and start to actually like plan out what you think the upcoming season is going to look like, it really goes to show that we have options.
Yes.
Like if some things don't pan out the way that we anticipate, we don't have to tap into nothingness.
That's
we're not
right.
scraping the bottom of the barrel necessarily. We have some fallback plans.
Josh
100%.
Okogie was a potential starter last year when we were at this point. He is now likely, as we ranked it, towards the end of the bubble guys that may or may not play in this rotation.
You got better.
You got significantly better, and there's a lot of options and experimentation that early on Mike Budenholzer can do. Right? What you're going to see in the first month and a half isn't what you're going to see come February, March, April, because they got to figure out some of this. But there's a lot that you can experiment with. That's why there's so many lineups that people were coming up with that we all went, oh, yeah, that would be intriguing.
Yeah. It's a good place to be in, at least for right now. And we'll dive deeper into a lot of these things as well throughout the rest of the offseason, since it seems, anyway, that this is likely going to be what they're rolling with, unless they sneak in another move here or there. Who knows? I wouldn't put it past them, but I also kind of hope they don't, at least not on the weekends. Can you give it to us on a weekday is all I'm saying.
Hey, Chad, chill out with these weekend transactions,
We do have a
man.
Mercury takeover coming up in August again, so maybe it'll happen then.
It literally, if we have an event,
always happens.
Mark it down.
Always happens.
Actually, crap, guys. I'm at an event tomorrow. We're at this D-backs pool party.
No,
so,
because they're doing media avaavailability
They're
with
not
Tyus
gonna make a
Jones.
trade
They're not
for
going
that.
to do
or
something
maybe
in the middle
they
of that.
are just to really screw with everybody's
That
day.
would be so rude. We'd need to call
Be
James
prepared.
Jones. and be
Isn't
like,
tomorrow?
"Sir,
Hold on. Isn't
please."
tomorrow Team USA as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Team USA
Oh,
plays
yeah.
tomorrow.
At the same time as that press
Yeah, because
conference.
don't they play at 12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 or 1?
Roughly,
Yeah.
12:30. So, yeah.
That's life.
And they're going to make a big trade. It'll be fun, guys.
It'll be fun. Before we get out of here, I think we do have one additional super chat to peek at from our friend Psycho Blue. They said, Basketball Cthulhu has to say this to the USA Today writer who called Ishbia the worst owner in the NBA, only for said owner to convince Tyus to sign with Phoenix for the culture. Na, 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 na.
Okay, I don't know who this USA Today writer is, but come on the show. I want to laugh at you in person.
Oh.
That's a fact.
Thank
Worst
you all.
owner in the NBA.
I know. You're straight tripping with that. Like, listen, don't get me wrong. Matt Ishbia has a long way to go as far as like getting his legs underneath him for all things ownership in the NBA, but he has done a fantastic job so far, and at least is putting where his mouth, where his money is. His money where his mouth is. Lord have mercy. And he's ponied up. He told us he wasn't afraid to spend, and he hasn't been afraid to spend. And so far, I'm happy with it. And we'll
$500
reevaluate
million
as we continue.
a
Who knows?
year.
Anyway, we're going to leave. I can't talk anymore. So thank you all for putting up with me today. I appreciate it. If you're here on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe and turn on notifications. If you are listening wherever you get your podcast, rate, review, and subscribe there as well. And of course, give the show a follow on social at PHNX_Suns. You can also follow me at Lindsay Smith AZ. You can follow Flex at Flex from Jersey. And you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
Congratulations to the Shadow GM, Isaiah Thomas, for pulling off a great offseason so far.
See,
Ahoy, hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.